Hey, welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Makes. Um, I have a few things to share with y'all, and we'll go ahead and get started. Let me get my camera adjusted here. I made what's going to be an ornament, and this is what I have made. This was a piece of ephemera in the background. Not sure how good you can see that. And so that piece of ephemera, you see the little tree with a deer, got a bigger deer, like a male deer, and a small little deer and a rabbit. And they're looking at the Christmas tree. That was just a piece of ephemera I've had in my stash for quite some time. So I grabbed that, and what I used here is this window frame, and that is called Baseboards. I don't know if you can see that. And it's from Tim Holtz Ideology, and there's just a whole bunch in there, so you can just do all kind of different stuff with these. But I used this one here, and I have a piece of acetate right here, and there's some glitter inside. I think you can see that. See the glitter. And on the back, I have just a piece of my cardstock that was in my stash, and I came through with my tracing wheel. I don't know if you can see the little lines on the back. And I distressed the edges with a vintage photo distress ink. And I just used some foam strips in between all the pieces here to make that shaker ornament. Basically is what that is. It's a shaker ornament. Now this piece here, I don't know if you can see, I'm out of frame again, sorry. This little piece right here, this, I forgot to get the die cut out to show y'all. This is from Spellbinders, and it goes to a different die cut, which is an ornament as well. And I forgot to pull that out to show y'all, but I went ahead and cut that twice with cardboard, like from a cereal box, and then glued it together and painted it kind of a coppery gold color. So it's nice and sturdy, but it almost looks like an actual little ornament hanger there. And I glued that in between my back piece and my foam and ephemera here. I don't know if you can see that or not. And that's where I'm going to be able to attach my little hook to hang it from the tree. Now here, to make my snow, I used the Tim Holtz texture paste. It's just a matte texture paste. And on top of that, I don't know if you can see the sparkly on the snow there. I don't know if I'm giving you a good glimpse or not. But on top of that, I put his new sparkle texture paste. Now the sparkle texture paste actually dries clear. And I don't know how well you can see that here, but it dries clear, so that's why I made sure that I put the regular texture paste down first, so it's white like snow, and then you get that texture paste on top, or the sparkle on top rather. So you still get that white snow with some sparkle. So that's one of the things I've made, okay? It's my little ornament. So that's one thing. Another thing I made was just some cards. I got a card and another ornament I'll show y'all. This card was inspired by Miss Anna White. She's been doing a lot of that kind of postage stamp kind of cards. So I went ahead and got myself, there was a few things I saw on Amazon that were on sale that had some postage marks and different things. So I went ahead and got some of those. I also used here in the background that worn linen stamp from Impression Obsession. And I use that a lot in a lot of my cards, actually. And you can see that little background where I've got some of that going on there. Now this snowman, this happened to be in my stash. I got this several years back from Amazon. I'll show you. I don't remember the name of it, but it's this particular stamp set here. And it's this guy, and I like him a lot because he's just so prim looking. So I went ahead and stamped him out. I did a little bit of watercolor, and I also, let's see, what was that? I can't remember what I did there. Okay, I think this is that glitter from Tim Holtz. It is the Clear Rock Candy. That's what it is. No, that's not it. Hold on a second. Sorry. It's Frosted Crystal. Okay. Sorry. So after I stamped him and kind of gave him a little bit of watercolor, blue kind of color, I came through and I put some glue down and put a Frosted Crystal on top of that. So that's what that little sheen, that glitter is right there. And then for the buttons, as you can see here, I used Recollections. It's called Tinsel Glitter. I got this from Michael's, and it's like a pink type of glitter. And I don't know how well you can see that, but that's in his little buttons here and his little feet. That's the glitter I used there. In the background, I did some script, some different script stamp. And then I put some crackle paste on top of that. You put that crackle paste on top, and then what it does is it dries to a clear finish, but also gives you some little crackle. I don't know if you can see that really well. It almost kind of looks like ice, like broken ice, like shattered bits of ice. And the crackle paste didn't really go around the full edges of the paper, which I actually kind of liked. Once I came through and I distressed my edges with like tea dye ink, it gave it that just random bits of brown there, which wound up looking really neat and kind of antique-y looking. So, and these are just papers I had in my stash. And kept the inside real simple. This is a stamp from one of my, something I've had in my stash for a while. It is also, I got that from Amazon a few years back, and it's this little set right here. I like this set because it looks kind of country looking. So that's the inside. And I just kept the rest of it super simple. But I just love the way he came out. He's one of my favorites. He's just real vintage looking. Well, not vintage, more prim, more country and prim. I love that look. So that's that card. The other card I did, I used paper from a paper pad that I got from Michael's. And that's this guy. And I did a different layout where I made two bands here and had my paper in the center just to make like a band across the card. I love that layout. I think that's cute. And the stamps I use, you could probably tell, is from the Tim Holtz and Simon Says Stamp collaboration. It's this particular one. It's the Stamp Timber 2023. Sorry, I'm out of frame again. It's that particular set. And I use the Santa. I use these little snowflakes. And I also use these the little presents here. And the particular method I used to color him, I used Copic markers. But I kind of came in and I just kind of did some stippling almost. I dotted it all throughout. And that's why you see that kind of coloring there. I just kind of dotted it all around the image. in different greens and different reds. And I just thought that gave it a very interesting look. Almost gave it like a texture. And then, of course, on his hat and around his little coat here and his mittens, I put some stickles there. So you can see that. And the inside, I don't love the inside. I feel like I would have done this a little differently, but that's okay. You know, it is what it is. Again, there's these little stars that I came through with and stamped all the way through. I got some smudging here, so I think what I might do is just take these stars. This is with Lumberjack Plaid Distress Oxide ink. I think what I might do is just kind of continue on that look. That way you can't really tell. So I might do that with that card. But that's that guy. And let's see here. I also have this card. I've been really enjoying using the craft cardstock. That's been just so fun recently to use that. Again, I took inspiration from Miss Anna White and did some of that postage stamping. So you see some postal marks, some different numbers and numerology and script all throughout the card. I also did some stenciling. I had some stencils that had stars in them. And this is that crackle paste that I used to do the stencil. And then I went over the dried stars with gold stickles. So you can see that in the background. In the background I got all kind of different stuff. Postage stamp marks and numbers and all kind of things. I haven't really gotten to the inside yet. I'll get to that later. But this is watercolor from one of the Tim Holtz stamps, and it's this little guy here. Got a whole bunch of these that are, I think, called Blueprint Sketch. So that's that little tree there. And I just did some random watercoloring, real light, nothing. There's not too much. There's really not much there to paint. So it's real easy to kind of come together and put together. And the die cuts are just things from that I've had in my stash forever. Not even sure where I got them, but I thought these are really cute. So yeah, that's that card. I did do the front and back with all the different stamping there. I've got texture stamps, and I found this. See these numbers here? I found this in my stash, and I forgot that I had it. I was looking through my drawers, and I found it. This is something when we did have a Tuesday morning many years ago in Eugene. This is where I got it. I got this particular stamp, and this is from Ranger. It's a Ranger Delusions stamp. I keep coming out of frame. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, I found this guy. I was like, oh my goodness, that's perfect for that look. So I did a lot of that as well. Just kind of almost gave it a grungy kind of look, you know. And I just love these Blueprint Sketch. I think they're so neat. And what's so easy about this is it's just got your single image, not a lot of coloring to it. It's just real simple, so it just comes together real quick. So yeah, that's that card. Now, I'll show you this ornament. Look at this, y'all. Oh my gosh. So I had a rosette die cut, and I think I ordered it from Amazon a long time ago, and I've never really messed with it because I haven't known how to really put it together. So I finally took the time to put it together. It actually makes a really quite a big size. As you can see, this is my hand. And so it's a really big size. I'd like to get here. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit so I can kind of hang it up for y'all and show you. I'd like to get a smaller size too. So what I did was I put the rosette pieces together. I glued them together. And I have a scallop circle die. I cut this out with some glitter paper. I had some red foil paper that I cut out, and I used, I'll show y'all. I forgot to get that out too. If I can find it. It is from, yeah, Memory Box. It is this particular, it's called Pinpoint Snowflake Plate. So I took that red foil paper, cut it out, and then ran that die through so you could see that snowflake pattern in the back. Now this Santa, he's just some ephemera. I think I got him from Michael's. He had there's a bunch of ephemera in that pack, and this is just one of the pieces. And then the peppermint sticks and the holly berries come from a Tim Holtz ephemera pack. And this is Every Good Wish for Christmas. This came, I treated myself, and Simon Says Stamp had this stamp set, which is Jolly Holiday, Tim Holtz stamp set, with a matching dies. So I went ahead and treated myself and got that. So that's how this sentiment got cut out. I used this sentiment, and it came with a die to cut it out, and that's how you get this guy here. I just love this. It's so pretty. And of course I got a little jingle bell here, and I made a little bow and hot glued him up to the top there. I don't know if I showed y'all the back. Here's the back. I want to get more rosette dies and make more rosettes. I want to get some smaller ones. I thought this was a smaller one, but when I went to put it together, it was not connecting, you know, so I made more. I just kept cutting out more, so obviously it's a big rosette. Which is fine. It'll be gorgeous. And you don't even have to use it as an ornament. You can use it as a little bit of home decor as well. It's a nice size. It's huge. It's like a saucer. So that was fun. I want to make more of those. Okay, I got one more, and I'm saving my favorite for last. The card I made is using this particular stamp set from Tim Holtz. I forget exactly what it was called. I'm sorry I didn't save the packaging. But it's got these trees. And little sentiments here. I love these little sketched out trees. I love those. And here is the card. This is my favorite card. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I am in love with how this came out. So, the way I colored it was actually with, I think I showed y'all another card. I did the same thing with the distress crayons. And I just dabbed a little bit of crayon here and there, not much, and went over it with a watercolor pencil. That's it, really. And then, of course, I did the background stamping of some postage marks, some script. In another Tim Holtz pack, there were some stars that I used as a background stamp. Another postage mark here. Another little postage type mark here. Or script, and I used the tracing wheel to come through and make those marks. And then I used the decor die cut. I forgot to pull that out too. I don't think I was super prepared today. I think this is Miss Anna White's design from Impression Obsession, and this just decal edging. So there's different sizes of that. I love that. And I don't know if you can see, if you look real close, I came through with a fine tip black pen and just made little black edges all the way around. It kind of almost giving it like a faux stitch kind of look to it. And this is a sentiment from a Tim Holtz pack. You know how he's got those little stickers with all those sentiments. So I put that on there. I also went around it with my tracing wheel and then little black tick marks to kind of make it look like faux stitching. And I got some twine here and a little button. And I did some of that background stamping to the piece that's behind it as well. You can't tell, but there is a little bit of that going on there. And this particular red and green paper came from a paperback I got from Hobby Lobby. And I love it because it's kind of the darker colors. It's not the bright red and green. It's the more vintage kind of look. So that's that card, and here's the inside. I came through again with more of those stars, and then just put this little Merry Christmas here. I had some pine cones. Again, that's from that one stamp set that I got several years back from Amazon. I love that Merry Christmas. It's just so country looking. It also comes with like this little pine cone. So that's that guy. But yeah, he was my favorite out of everything I made. Now, of course, I went around the edge with a mixture of vintage, photo ink, and walnut stain. And in the very center, I added a touch of tumbled glass distress ink. So you can see a little bit of blue there. So that's what I have today to share with y'all. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll try to come on again soon, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.